What is up, COD people? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. I'm trying to stick it out with at least a Call of Duty video a day in between our homestand events. Thank you all for the great support. You guys are simply amazing about this. Also, brought to us another story via Karma and some very curious tweets out there. By the way, the situation's been resolved. I want you guys to know, not too much drama around this. Obviously, when these pro players and these coaches and these personalities talk back and forth, most of the time it's done lightheartedly. They've resolved the situation. That being the situation, many have talked about the PC arrangements, the practice and scrims that really did not happen for a lot of teams throughout Thursday and Friday of the Minnesota opening weekend event. But it was Karma, and I take a page from Tactical's book about this. It was super hard to understand what he was trying to say about this, although he did give his 2 cents, potentially calling out FaZe coach Crowder. We also have a response from Pacman, the OpTic coach, about all of this and the struggles that teams underwent the first couple days of the event. So first off, it was actually Karma taking to Twitter. I don't know what he was on or what he was necessarily trying to say the entire time, but his first tweet out there was, got people saying to get better when they sit their butts down for 5 hours in a day they don't play, while I sit on one with no power and their dip bad word coach sits there in his hoodie. Now I presume it was actually towards FaZe Crowder. He might have gotten this mixed up as the two go back and forth about the venue and what it did lack for several teams out there in terms of the ability to practice and scrim leading into the event. I assume what he meant though is the fact that FaZe Clan was scrimming on a Friday where they didn't even play until Saturday. Meanwhile, the Surge had matches on Friday and could not scrim before those matches. That's what I presume they did main. Again, the situation has been resolved, guys, but they did go back and forth on Twitter several times before getting to that point. Eventually, Karma did respond on Reddit as well, clarifying the situation, saying they provided enough for everyone to play at once. Although it was very cramped, it was better than nothing, and then the no power, no update situation happened, hoping the issue does not happen again in the future. And it also seems that Karma did maybe misinterpret who was there, who was not for that FaZe team as well. I do have responses though for all of you guys, brought to us by Codcast, as well as hard points on the situation. I will link these podcasts down below. There's certainly a great reference for a lot of information that we would never know up front just by watching the event. I also must apologize, guys. My voice is actually just going away, so that's why the water has been pulled out. Here is Crowder, first of all, on his standpoint on the setups that did happen, and then after that, guys, I'll play you the Pacman clip as well about the troubles that OpTic had, and on top of that, he does comment on the fact that yes, Minnesota and FaZe were scrimming. Meanwhile, other teams, they didn't get that same chance.
Only thing I didn't really touch on that I would have talked about that could be improved. I don't really know whose fault it was or what happened was what Maven kind of said, like the player setup's not really working in the warm-ups. Like I know that could have been the update thing because there was an update that happened right before that
doesn't
obviously
help.
Yeah, it doesn't help anyone.
It seemed like the network went down or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm sure that could have been on the technical side, and I can obviously like kind of be wrong about this. But as a player and now as a coach, like every single team should always have a chance to warm up and be able to play. Like even if you don't have a match on this day or a match on that day, like you should have your own station. Like you're a professional player, you're a professional team. You should never be, hey, we have a match in an hour, we need to warm up. Could we sit down? And obviously, rationally speaking, that's true. Like obviously it should be prioritized if that's the case. But my point being is moving forward, every team, no matter what, like that should be really, really high on the priority list to make sure that works.
The only thing that I thought that was actual BS was that Minnesota, obviously, that is where the city where they play. So Minnesota, the actual team, was off at their facility practicing against Atlanta, while the internet was down and no one else could play. I'm like, wait, what?
So at the end of the day, what you guys think is totally up to you. I'm going to cut this one short because my voice is certainly fading. But yes, there are certainly different perspectives on what teams had advantages, what teams could practice and scrim the entire time, what teams got additional practice time that others did not, and hopefully it will be corrected for the future. I will still say this, guys, overall in all, the event itself was very, very fun to watch, and being for a first event of the entire season, I thought it was very well put on. It only gets better from here on out, at least we can hope, and these issues will not be prevalent in the future as well. What do you guys think about this? As always, my name is Jake here from Esports Talk. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all back here sometime soon.